Good morning friends. Today we will learn about the course VLSI Design and Technology. Before going to start this course, let's understand the structure of this course. Okay. The course structure of the course VLSI Design and Technology consists of two examinations, in semester examination and end semester examination. In semester examination is of 30 marks and end semester examination of 70 marks. Hence total marks of this course is 100. Credit allocated this subject is 3. Now let's discuss about the syllabus of this course. There are total 6 units in this course. Unit number 1 is about hardware description language design. Unit number 2 is digital design and issues. Unit number 3 is PLD architecture and application. Unit number 4 is digital CMOS circuits. Unit number 5 is application specific integrated circuits. Unit number 6 is about VLSI testing and analysis. Our today's topic to learn about unit number 1, hardware description language design. In today's lecture we will discuss about introduction to hardware description language and introduction to very high speed integrated circuit hardware description language. We will also discuss advantages, features, fundamental units and structure of VHDL language. After learning this course, what will the course outcome of these subjects are? First, apply fundamental knowledge of electronics devices for designing of analog and digital CMOS circuits. Design and implement digital system using PLDs such as CPLD and FPGA. Third course outcome is design combinational and sequential circuits using hardware description language such as VHDL. Fourth, apply CMOS technology specific layout rules by taking into account of power and area required in placement and routing of registers. And fifth is understand the chip level issues and need of testability. Now we will start our unit number 1. In this lecture we will discuss about hardware description language and very high speed integrated circuit hardware description language, that is VHDL. Let's start with introduction to hardware description language. In electronics, hardware description language is a language from class of computer language for formal description of electronic circuit. It can describe circuit operation, its design and test to verify its operation at any level. There are two popular hardware description languages, VHDL and Verilog. The automatic translation of design description into a set of logical equation is performed by hardware description language. The hardware description languages are used to describe architecture and behavior of discrete electronic system. Hardware description language are the programming language that have been designed and optimized for digital circuit design and modeling. The hardware description language has several advantages over the traditional design methodology. They are: we can verify design functionality early in the design written as an HDL description. we can design simulation at higher level before implementation at gate level, which allows to test architecture and design decision. It reduces non-recurring engineering cost. The design reuse is enabled. It increases flexibility to design changes and better and easier design auditing and verifications. Now let's discuss about VHDL. As we discussed that hardware description languages are of the two type, VHDL and Verilog. Out of them, VHDL is very popular hardware description language. VHDL is hardware description language. It describes behavior of electronic circuit or system from which physical circuit or system can be attained. The name VHDL stands for VHSIC SDL, means VHSIC hardware description language. VHSIC stands for Very High Speed Integrated Circuit, which is initiative funded by US Department of Defense in 1980, which led to creation of VHDL. VHDL is contrary to regular programming languages like C, C++, Java, which are sequential languages, while VHDL statements are inherently concurrent, means parallel. For this reason, VHDL is usually referred as code rather than program. In VHDL, only statements which are placed inside the process, function or procedures are executed sequentially. VHDL has powerful construct. In VHDL, design may be decomposed hierarchically. Each design element has well-defined interface which are useful for connecting it to the other elements. Each design element has a precise behavioral specifications which are useful for simulating it. VHDL handles asynchronous as well as synchronous sequential circuits. In VHDL, design is target independent. VHDL supports design library, and most important feature of the VHDL is this language is non-case sensitive language. Now let's discuss about fundamental units of VHDL language. VHDL language consists of three fundamental units. First, library declaration. Second, entity. Third, architecture. These are fundamental sections of basic VHDL code. Now we will discuss about first fundamental unit, that is a library declaration. Every library consists of different packages, and every package consists of different functions, procedures, component, constant and type which can be used inside the VHDL code. Hence, library is a fundamental part of the VHDL language. Now let's discuss about how to declare the library. Library clause defines logical names for design the library in the host environment. It is set of utility packages that can be put inside the library. To declare the library, two lines of code is needed. One which contains the library and other which contains the use clause as shown in the figure. In syntax as given, library is nothing but the inbuilt construct, means library while declaring the library, it should start with the inbuilt construct library. After that, name of the library, that is library underscore name semicolon. After that, write the use clause, use library underscore name dot package underscore name dot package underscore parts. In this way we can declare the any library. Every library should start with the name library and end with the semicolon. Use clause uses packages and components inside that library. At least 3 packages from 3 different libraries are usually needed in design. First package is IEEE.std_logic_1164. Standard std_logic_1164. This package is included inside the library IEEE. Second library is nothing but the standard library, which is declared as std. Third library is a work library. Let's discuss how to declare these libraries. There are 3 libraries: IEEE, standard and work. To declare the IEEE library, start with the inbuilt syntax library IEEE semicolon. Use clause use IEEE dot std_logic_1164 dot all. In these 2 lines, IEEE indicates the IEEE library, std_logic_1164 indicates the package which is included in the IEEE library, and all indicates all the parts from the package std_logic_1164 are included in this design. Means all the components or all the parts from the library standard logic 1164 which is included inside the library IEEE are included in this design. In this way we can declare the IEEE library. Similar way we can declare the library standard and library work. In standard library, std is the name of standard library. Standard is nothing but the name of the package, and all are the components. Similar to work library, from the work library all the components are added. Here the between library and package, and between package and parts, we have to use the operator. That operator is nothing but the dot. The dot operator combines or integrates the library with package and package with the components. Every library syntax end with the semicolon. Library standard and work, which are shown above, are made visible by default to the every program, so there is no need to declare them. Only the IEEE library must be explicitly written. Purpose of different packages or three packages which are mentioned above are following. मला लागतोय नंतर The standard logic 1164 package, which is the part of IEEE library, it specifies multi-level logic system which are supported in given program. STD is a resource library which supports different data types, text IOs, etc. for the VHDL design environment. Third library, which is a work library, where we are saving our design, that is .vhd plus all files which are created by compiler and simulator are saved in the work library. The IEEE library contains several packages. Out of them we will discuss some packages. First package is std_logic_1164. It specifies std underscore logic specifies the 8 different logic levels which are supported to the VHDL program. std underscore ulogic support the 9 level, that is a multi-level logic system to the VHDL program. Second package is std underscore logic underscore arith. It's It specifies signed and unsigned data types and related arithmetic and comparison operation. Next package is standard logic sign. It contains functions that allows the operation with std underscore logic underscore vector data which are to be performed as if data were of type sign. Next package is std underscore logic underscore unsigned. It contains functions that allow the operation with std underscore logic underscore vector data to be performed as if data were of the type unsigned. Now let's discuss structure of the VHDL program. Every VHDL program consists of at least one entity architecture pair. Combination of entity and its corresponding architecture is referred as a design entity. In large design, you will typically write many entities or architecture pair and connect them together to form the complete circuit. An entity declaration describes circuit as it appears from the outside from the perspective of input and output interfaces. Second part of the minimum VHDL design is the architectural declaration. Architecture describes actual function of an entity to which it bounds. Means every design entity has an entity declaration and architecture. Now let's discuss about entity of the VHDL code. VHDL entity specifies the name of entity, ports of entity and entity related information. All designs are created using one or more entities. Entity is description of interface between design and external environment. It defines input and output ports of the design. Design can contain more than one entity. Each entity has its own architecture statement. Let's see syntax of entity. Entity start with the name entity, which is inbuilt construct. Entity underscore name is port inside the parenthesis port underscore name colon mode ports underscore type, complete the bracket semicolon, end entity underscore name. Here in this syntax the word entity is port mode, these are inbuilt construct, and entity underscore name port underscore type, these are user defined name. Every entity end with the name of entity. Let's see example of the entity. Here entity register 4 is port, D0, D1, D2, D3, enable, clock, colon. These all are input ports of the design. Hence, these are declared as a in mode, means port mode is a in, and port type is a bit. Bit supports the two logic values, logic 0 and logic 1, semicolon. Second line, Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, these all are the output ports, means output of the design is declared as a out port, and type of the port is bit. We support the two logic values 0 and 1. Complete the bracket, semicolon. End, always end the entity with the entity register 4. Hence, in this example, register 4 is an entity name. D0, D1, D2, D3, Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, these are the ports name. In and out are the port mode, which describe direction of the port. And reserved keywords are entity, is, port, end. These are the reserved keywords. Now let's see what are the different types of modes. There are 5 modes available in the VHDL for ports. First, in, second, out, third, in out, fourth, buffer. Let's discuss about the input port. In indicates the input port. A variable or signal can read a value from a port of mode in, but is not allowed to assign a value to it. Second port is the output port. It is allowed to make the signal assignments to a port of mode out, but it is not legal to read from it. Third port is the in-out, which is the bidirectional port. Both assignments to such a port and reading from it are allowed. Fourth port is the buffer. It is an output port with read capability. It differs from input that it can be updated by at least one of the source, where in-out can be updated by 0 or more sources. Let's see example of how to declare the ports. In this example, we have considered the AND gate, 2 input AND gate. The 2 input AND gate have 2 input A and B and output C. Let's write the VHDL code including library and entity. Library IEEE, use IEEE.std_logic_1164.all. These 2 lines are required for every program while writing the code. Then we have to write the name of entity. We have considered the name of entity is AND2. Hence entity AND2 is port. Inside the bracket, write down all input ports in one line, A, B, in. Consider the port type as a bit or standard logic. Bit support the two logic value 0 and 1, while standard logic support the 8 different level: logic 0, logic 1, low logic 0, low logic high, high impedance, don't care, unknown, uninitialized. After that, writing the input ports, then write down all the output ports. And 2 has one output port C. Its direction is out, means mode is out, and type is bit, semicolon. End of the entity with the name N and 2. Okay. Here instead of bit you can write the standard logic, as we have included the standard logic 1164 package. Let's discuss about the standard logic 8. Standard logic, it is 8 value logic system which are introduced in the IEEE 1164 standard. First value, it supports X, means forcing unknown, 0 forcing low, 1 forcing high, Z high impedance, W weak unknown, L weak low, H weak high, don't care. Let's see second example, multiplexer. Multiplexer transfers out of many of the signal into the one output line. Here we have considered 4:1 multiplexer. It has 4 input, 1 output and 2 select line, 2 bit select line. Now let's write the VHDL code to describe the functional. Let's write entity of the multiplexer. Library IEEE semicolon use IEEE dot standard logic 1164 dot all. Entity, we have considered the name of entity mux. Here while writing the name of entity you cannot use inbuilt construct name. All the operators like AND, OR, NOR, NAT, all the inbuilt constructs, and you cannot write the inbuilt construct name as an entity. Hence entity mux is port, all the input ports having same data type written in the one line, C, D, E, F, colon, in standard logic, semicolon, yes, colon, in std underscore logic underscore vector 1 down to 0. Here 1 down to 0 indicates it is a 2-bit signal where 1 is the MSB and 0 is the LSB. Third, mux out, it is a output port, hence declare as out, standard logic, complete the bracket, semicolon, end with the name end mux. Here let's discuss how to declare the vectors. Here if select line is a 4-bit signal, then you can declare is yes colon in standard logic vector 3 down to 0. Here 3 indicates the MSB and 0 indicates the LSB. Hence 0 to 3 means total 4 bits are used in the select line. Hence it is a 4-bit vector with leftmost bit is a MSB. Similar you can write in the different way also. Yes colon in standard logic vector 0 to 3. Sorry, by mistake it is written as a down, 0 to 3. Standard logic vector, yes, it is again 4-bit vector with right mode bit is the MSB. Now let's compare single bit versus bit vector. Here if we write the VHDL code for AND gate, 2 input AND gate having the single bit input, means input A and B are the single bit vector. Hence library IEEE use IEEE dot standard logic 1164 dot all, entity and 2 is port A comma B in bit, C colon out bit, complete the bracket, end of the entity. Architecture, data flow of AND 2 is begin, Z is assigned A and B, end of the data flow. This is the code written for the single bit vector. Here A and B are the single bit input and C is the single bit output. Same way, if input A and B are the multi-bit vector, then we can write the code in such a way. Library IEEE use IEEE dot standard logic 1164 dot all, entity and 2 is port A comma B colon in bit vector. Here 0 to 2, 0 indicates the LSB, 2 indicates the MSB. It is a 3-bit vector. A and B are the 3-bit vectors. C colon out bit vector 0 to 2, end of the AND 2. Architecture, data flow of AND 2 is begin, Z is assigned A and B, end of the data flow. In this example, A and B are the 3-bit vector and C is a 3-bit vector. Architecture of both code are same, only entity declaration differs because it depends on how many bits of input you are going to write. Next, most important fundamental unit of VHDL code is architecture. The architecture describes functionality or internal organization of operation of the entity, and it contains the statement that model the behavior of the entity. Means by using architecture we can describe functionality or operation of any electronic circuit. Now, how to declare the architecture? Architecture has 3 lines. First, architecture declaration, architecture body, and end of the architecture. Architecture body is used to describe the behavior, data flow, or structure of design entity. Architecture body describes the internal details of the design, means internal details of the electronic circuit. They can describe the internal details by using the different styles. They are known as modeling style. First, behavioral, second, data flow, third, structural, fourth, mix. Behavioral. In behavioral, we can use set of sequential assignment statement. In data flow modeling, we are using set of concurrent assignment statement. In structural modeling style, we are using the set of interconnected components. And in mix, it is a combination of any of the above 3 modeling style, means behavioral plus data flow, behavioral plus structural, or behavioral data flow plus structure. Let's understand what is the architecture, what is the syntax of architecture. Architecture is always related to an entity and it describes behavior of that entity. Let's write syntax of the architecture. Architecture, name of the architecture of name of the entity is. After that, you have to declare the block declaration atom, means signal and variable declaration. Begin. After that, you have to describe the functionality by using the concurrent statements. End. Name of the architecture. Hence, in this syntax, the whatever the letters, words shown in the yellow color, these are inbuilt construct, inbuilt word. We cannot use them as a user defined name or to declare write the architecture name. Whatever shown inside the whatever shown by the white color, these are user defined name. They are used to describe the operation of design. Let's see one example of the architecture. This example is written for the adder. Architecture, name of the architecture, that is a user defined name, is I can write any name, or you can prefer the any of the modeling style name. If you are using the behavioral modeling style, you can write the behavioral. If you can use the data flow modeling style, then you can write the data flow or structure. Hence, architecture behave of my underscore adder is. Here, my underscore adder is the entity name which is declared for the my adder entity. Then, in block declaration atom, we have to declare all the intermediate signals which are required for connections. Signal A, B, C, bit, semicolon. Begin. Sum is assigned A XOR B, semicolon. End of the behave. Here you can see architecture is a keyword which is the inbuilt construct or keyword. Behave is the architecture name. My underscore adder is the entity name. Signal is the declaration part. Then body part contain the concurrent statements. Now let's see how we can describe the operation of any electronic circuit for that entity using the different style. VHDL provides a broad set of construct or statement to describe the operation. With VHDL, you can describe discrete operation of electronic system of varying complexity like various system, boards, chips, modules with varying level of abstraction. VHDL languages are divided into the different modeling style by their level of abstraction. Means the way of describing operation of electronic circuit is nothing but the modeling style, and we can describe the operation by using the different modeling style. These are nothing but behavioral modeling style, data flow modeling style, structural modeling style, and mixed style. Behavioral style. Let's start with the behavioral modeling style. It is higher level of abstraction which are supported in VHDL language, which is called behavioral level of abstraction. It describes the circuit at behavioral level, which is very similar to writing the computer program. Here we have all standard high level programming language constructs like for loop, while loop, if else statement, if then else, case statement, variable assignment statement. All the statements are enclosed in a process block and they are executed sequentially. When creating a behavioral description of circuit, you will describe your circuit in terms of its operation over time. A behavioral design method defines a circuit in terms of textual language other than schematic of interconnected symbol. Let us take example of simple NAND 2 logic gate. नाही मला ते पाहिजे थोड्या वेळा 15 मिनिटं का माझं होईल. In behavioral modeling, we must require behavior of design or truth table of design. There is no need of logical circuit diagram. Means to explain or write the VHDL program using VHDL modeling style, you must know the behavior of design or truth table of design. There is no need to understand or remember internal circuit diagram of the design. In this example, we are going to write the VHDL architecture for NAND 2 gate. For NAND 2 gate, there are two inputs and one output. Hence, first of all, we will write the truth table of design. It has two input A and B and output is Z. Let's write all the combinations of input 0 0 0 1 1 0 1. For NAND 2, when inputs are 0 0, output is 1. When input is 0 and 1, output is 1. When input is 1 and 0, output is 1. When inputs are 1 1, output is 0. Now let's describe this by using the code. First of all, write the library IEEE semicolon, use IEEE dot standard logic 1164 dot all semicolon, entity NAND2 is port A comma B colon in bit semicolon Z colon out bit, complete the parenthesis semicolon, end of the NAND2. Architecture behave of NAND2 is, every architecture should start with the keyword begin. If you are using behavioral modeling style, then you have to write the word keyword process. Inside the process you have to write the sensitivity list. It is the list of signal for which output is going to be changed. Hence it is known as a sensitivity list. Here input A and B we can write inside the sensitivity list. After that begin. Then we have to describe the operation of NAND2 by using the truth table. Here we can write or describe the operation by using the sequential statement if then. If A equal to 1 and B equal to 1, then Z is assigned 0, else Z is assigned 1. End of the if. Every statement should end with the name end. Every process should end with the name end, and every architecture should end with the name architecture name. In this way we can write the architecture for NAND2. Remember, while writing the architecture, your name of the architecture should be unique. Every architecture start with the keywords begin, process, begin. After begin, inside the process, after begin, you have to describe the operation by using any of the sequential statement. Let's see second example, half adder. Half adder has two input A and B and two output sum and carry. Let's write the truth table for half adder. When input are 0 0, sum is 0 and carry is 0. When input are 0 1, sum is 1 and carry is 0. When input is 1 0, sum is 1, carry is 0, and when input are 1 1, sum is 0 and carry is 1. Let's write the VHDL program for half adder. Starting with the library IEEE semicolon, use IEEE dot standard logic 1164 dot all, entity half underscore adder is port A comma B colon in bit semicolon sum comma carry colon out bit semicolon, end of the half adder. Then while writing the architecture, name of the architecture behave of name of the entity half underscore adder is begin process, inside the process sensitivity list signals A and B begin, After that you have to describe operation of the half adder by using the sequential state. Here we can use the if else statement. If a equal to 0 and b equal to 0, then sum is assigned 0 semicolon, carry is assigned 0. Here AND is the operator which combines the conditions a equal to 0 and b equal to 0. Less than equal to is the assignment operator which assigns the value of right hand side to the left hand side. Second condition, else if. While writing this second condition you have to write else if. Else if a equal to 0 and b equal to 1, then sum is assigned 1 and carry is assigned 0. All the numerical values are you have to show in the single apostrophe. Third condition, else if a equal to 1 and b equal to 0, then sum is assigned 1 and carry is assigned 0 semicolon. Last condition you have to write by using the keyword else. Else sum is 1 and carry is 1. End if, end process, end PO. This is about behavioral modeling style. Second modeling style is nothing but the data flow modeling style. In this modeling style, it can describe the data flowing through a design from input to the output. An operation is defined in terms of collection of data transformation which are expressed as a concurrent statement. Each of the statements can be activated when any of its input signal changes its value. While these statements describe behavior of the circuit, a lot of information about its structure can be extracted from the description as well. Data flow modeling style has set of concurrent assignment statements. It uses inbuilt operator such as AND, OR, XOR, NOT, etc. Let's write the VHDL code by using data flow modeling for the same example, that is NAND2. Library IEEE. Use IEEE dot standard logic 1164.all. Entity NAND2 is port A, B in bit, Z out bit, end of the NAND. Architecture data flow of NAND2 is. Here name of the architecture we have write data flow as we are using the data flow modeling style. Otherwise you can use your own user defined name. Data flow modeling always start with the begin, but after begin you have to write the concurrent assignment statement by using operators or concurrent signal assignment statement. Here Z is assigned A NAND B. Here the keyword NAND is used as an operator which works as a NAND operation between A and B. End of the data flow semicolon. End of the architecture. In above example, NAND2 gate is described using single concurrent signal assignment. A signal assignment is identified by a symbol less than equal to. Signal Z will get the numerical value assigned to it which is based on the value of A and B. Second example, half adder. While writing the code using data flow modeling style, you must know the logic circuit diagram or you must know the logical equation of the electronic circuit. Library IEEE semicolon. Use IEEE dot standard logic 1164.all. Entity half adder is port A, B colon in bit, sum carry colon out bit, complete the bracket semicolon. End of the entity half adder. Architecture data flow of half adder is begin. After begin you have to describe the operation using concurrent signal assignment statement. For half adder there are two outputs, sum and carry. The sum output we can write by using sum is equal to A XOR B, as there is a XOR operation between A and B which is provided to the sum
port. Hence we can write the output equation of the sum is assigned A XOR B. Similar way, carry is the output of AND gate. Hence we can write carry is assigned A and B. End of the data flow. Means by using the operator XOR and AND, we can write or describe the operation of half adder by using data flow modeling. Means if you know the logic equation or output equation of the ports or relationship between input by using the logical equations, you can use the data flow modeling. Similar way, last way, third most important modeling style is structural style modeling. Here in structural style modeling, it uses components, hence it is also called as structural description or structural design. Structural style having set of interconnected components. The important feature of structural type of architecture body are it has design hierarchy, components are used, each component is simulated separately. In structural modeling, entity is described as set of components which are interconnected by signals, that is the netlist. Let's see the example of structural modeling. In this example there are two gates, AND gate and inverter, means NOT gate. Here we have to decompose the every circuit diagram into the small components. Every small component should be identified by using the unique identifier. Here AND gate has given the name U0, NOT gate has given the name U1. I1 and I2, these are the inputs to the AND gate, and O1 is the output of AND gate. I3 is the input of NOT gate and 02 is the output of NOT gate. Temp is the interconnect signal which interconnects the output O1 to the input I3. A, B, these are the ports of the design, and Z input ports of the design, and Z is output port of the design. Library IEEE, use IEEE dot standard logic 1164.all. Entity NAND2 is port A, B in bit, Z out bit, in NAND2. Architecture structural of NAND2 is signal. Here we have to declare the internal signal declaration. Here temp is the internal signal which interconnects the output of AND gate to the input of NOT gate. Hence it is declared as a temp interconnect signal. Signal temp colon bit component. Now here we have decomposed the whole circuit diagram into the two components, U0 and U1. Hence first component is the AND gate. Hence component AND underscore gate is port I1, I2 in bit semicolon 01 out bit semicolon end of the component. Similar way, write down the second component NOT gate, port I3 in bit 02 out bit end of the component. After component declaration, you have to start with the code after writing the begin. Then first identifier U0, which is a label of first component, U0 colon AND underscore gate port map. I1 is assigned to the A, I1 is connected to the A, I2 is connected to the B, and 01 is connected to the temp. Similar way, second component U1 NOT underscore gate port map. I3 is connected to the temp, 02 is connected to the Z. End of the structure. While writing architecture for structural modeling, all the components should be declared before the begin statement. If it consists of three different gates, then you have to declare the three different components. In this case, in this example, only two components are present, like AND gate and NOT gate. Hence we have declared the two components. After begin, you have to instantiate that component, which is also known as a port mapping. In port mapping, all the component labels are written and port map the input and output connections. And finally, end of the structure. Last modeling style is a mixed modeling style. Mixed style of modeling is combination of behavioral, data flow and structural in a single architecture. It uses any of above two modeling style. In mixed style modeling, we could use component instantiation statement, concurrent statement, sequential statement. Most popular method, it is the most popular method to model the large system is nothing but structural and behavioral modeling style. Let's see the same example. Okay, here we will declare the portion of AND gate by using the data flow modeling and portion of NOT gate by using the structural modeling. Entity NAND2 is port A, B in bit. Outputs are Z, Z1 out bit. End of the NAND2. Signal temp bit. Architecture mix of NAND2 is begin, process begin. Here we are using behavioral modeling style and structural modeling style. In architecture, after writing begin, process begin, write down the sequential assignment statement to describe the operation of AND gate. If A equal to 1 and B equal to 1, then Z1 is assigned 1, else Z1 is assigned 0. End of the if, end of the process. Component NOT underscore gate, port I3 colon in bit 02 out bit. Second part we are going to describe using the structural modeling. Hence, how many components are present we have to declare inside the begin process. Hence, only one component NOT gate is present, hence we have declared that component. After begin, here we have to initialize the component by using the port mapping step. U1 colon NOT underscore gate port map I3 is connected to the temp and 02 is connected to the Z. End of the mix. This is about modeling style. Modeling style plays very important role to extract the internal circuit diagram from the given code. Hence, it is very important in the VHDL program while describing the operation what type of modeling style you are going to use to describe the operation of that circuit. Now let's compare these different modeling style: behavioral, data flow and structural. In behavioral, functional or algorithmic aspect of design is expressed in the sequential VHDL process. In data flow, here view flowing of data from through the design from input to the output are described. Here operation is defined in terms of collection of data transformation expressed as a concurrent statement. In structural modeling, the view which is closest to the hardware where components of the design are interconnected, and this view is expressed by the component. In behavioral, it uses the set of sequential or concurrent statement. In data flow modeling, it uses the concurrent statement, specifically logical equations. Structural modeling, it uses the interconnection of components. Example, you can say in behavioral modeling it represents the operation. In data flow modeling it represents the behavioral, and in structural modeling it's explicit the structures. Behavioral modeling needs the truth table as the design specifications. Data flow modeling needs Boolean equations as the design specifications, and structural modeling needs the logical diagram as the design specifications. Thank you. In this way, in today's lecture, we will learn about the hardware description language, advantages of hardware description language, introduction to the VHSIC SDL, VHDL, then features and advantages of VHDL, fundamental units of VHDL, then library declaration, entity declaration and architecture declaration of the VHDL, then structure of VHDL and modeling style of VHDL. Okay, thank you.